on the app, the website, and on your smart speakers. And we will kick off the show tonight with a look back on Friday's Group B action at the World Cup. Wales going down to Iran, England drawing with the USA. What does tomorrow night's showdown have in store? What do Rob Page and Gareth Southgate need to do to improve their side showings? We'll preview the action, and we want your views as always. Plus, I want your views on this as well. We'll talk rugby tonight as we're joined by Pembrokeshire's Kenny Davis to talk about Wales slipping to that agonising defeat against Australia on Saturday. Has Gordon finally ran out of patience with Wayne Pivac? Is he the man to take Wales into the Six Nations and the World Cup? Or is it time for a blast from the past? Is Warren Gatland the answer? We'll talk about that in the second part of tonight's show. Plus, we'll build up to a Pure West radio special at 9 when we look back on an excellent Sport Pembrokeshire Awards on Friday night. We'll hear about Fraser's battle with the Broadhaven Hills at yesterday's 10K and plenty more to do before 9 as well. In fact, Fraser, a little bit tells me you almost weren't here tonight. You nearly got the call up, didn't you, in the indoor cricket?
Well, I did have the call up actually, Ben, on the basis that we were short of players, but unfortunately that situation derived that we got so short of players that we couldn't field a side. So actually very poor from our lot tonight. I call out other clubs for doing it. I'm not going to let ours go either. So, but it does mean that I can return to this warm studio as opposed to being down there knocking Nayland everywhere. So
excellent stuff.
Every cloud.
We'll talk about the 10K a bit later. But your legs okay?
You weren't playing Nayland tonight, were you?
Yeah, we weren't. No, we were. No.
Legs doing okay, Fraser?
No.
Maybe a good job you're not playing tonight. Gordon Thomas, how are you?
I'm very good, Ben. And you?
Yeah, not bad at all. And Tom, evening to you as well. Let's get straight to it because we're going to get into the rugby in a bit. But let's get straight to the football, shall we? And we'll start with the World Cup and get involved. Give us your comments on what happened on Friday. Wales 2, Iran 0, then England 0, USA 0. But we'll start with the morning game. Fraser, Wales disappointing really to go down against Iran. And what was it? Was it the manner of the defeat, you think, that was most disappointing?
Yeah, the manner of the performance, certainly, Ben. It was a display which lacked direction on so many levels. I thought I understood why Kiefer Moore had to come in, but then, you know, you saw an Iran team that were brutally exposed against England because of the pace England had out wide and the way England got behind, and we didn't really test that in any way, shape or form. Harry Wilson, Gareth Bale and Ramsey were anonymous, it has to be said. And, you know, I thought to play Kiefer Moore there, the purpose was then to get the ball up to him quickly and to start playing off him, and we just simply didn't do that. And apart from that stab chance I think he had in the first half, we never really threatened. I mentioned Ramsey being anonymous as well. Ethan Ampadu was ruthlessly exposed in midfield. He got through a lot of work but was overran a lot, and I thought, you know, Rob Page then got it wrong, but by hooking off Ampadu for Allen, especially when we then went down to 10 and leaving Ramsey on the field, it just left us even more exposed, and it was a hard time for Joe to come on, of course. So yeah, I think from players and manager, it has to be said, we got a lot wrong on Friday and we deserved the defeat we got.
Gordon, how much did that sending off impact things, did you think, going into the final stage of the game with only 10 men and having to change the goalkeeper is always disruptive, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. And Fraser's just spelt out how poor Wales were. We weren't performing on the pitch at all. There was no cohesion there. It was very difficult for us to get any sort of hold on the ball, and we didn't create anything in the final third, which was very disappointing. Kiefer Moore was supposed to be the target man, Fraser just pointed out there, but I don't think we had one cross from either flank into him to cause any problems. And it was a very disappointing day, you know, and we were well beaten. 2-0 was a fair scoreline. I know the goals came very late, but to be fair, Iran were the better side. There was no question about that.
Yes. What you thought, Gord? I thought our attacking play was too frenzied. I thought you looked at Nico Williams and Connor Roberts. We know the energy they have.
Yeah.
They got in a lot of forward areas, but there's no real end quality or result. They ran down blind alleys a lot, I thought. I don't know if you thought so.
Yeah, definitely, Fraser. I thought that we lacked the creativity that we normally
and composure.
And composure, definitely. I don't know what's gone on the last 2 games, to be honest with you. We haven't played very well. Obviously tomorrow night we're playing England, but it's going to be a tall order to get anything from that game tomorrow. But Rob Page will be bitterly disappointed with how Wales, and the supporters are very disappointed how Wales have actually done in this World Cup, or not done, as we should say.
Interesting comment from Jason Chapman, just up on the screen, and give us your views as well. Jason, looking forward to talking Pembrokeshire football with Gordon. We will get to that in just a sec. Wales poor, too many players being carried, need to put young players in the squad. Now, I was going to come to this actually, Fraser, because I think obviously Bale and Ramsey, we know about them. We know the quality in particular Gareth Bale brings, especially at those big moments. And I personally think you have to have Gareth Bale in that starting team. In my opinion, he has to start for Wales. I wonder about Aaron Ramsey, not just because of right now, but if you look back on the last year or so, he's struggled at Rangers. He's had his injury problems.
Yeah.
It's been a bit sad, really, to see the Aaron Ramsey we have seen at this World Cup, because he's a top player, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, look, let's not be ignorant to what he's done. He's been a superb player for Wales, for one of the most pivotal players in the past 2 decades even. But at the moment, it isn't working, and I was concerned actually we didn't have the strength of conviction to take him off against Iran. I completely agree with you. I understand leaving Bale on. You know, it seems a gamble, but even when he's ineffective, whether it's a penalty, whether it's a free kick, whether it is the odd moment, you do think he's still worth it. But I'd like to think we have the strength of conviction not to play Ramsey tomorrow night. I don't think he will do that. I think Page, what we've seen, is a pragmatist. It's safety first, so to speak. But we have to have a selection. We have to win the game, don't we, Wales? It's a death or glory situation. It might be unlikely, but we might as well go down fighting now. And that doesn't mean going gung-ho, because you go gung-ho against the attacking weapons England have, you can end up being hammered. We need, I think, the sort of setup we had against America, actually, where we actually maybe sat deep and let them have a lot of the ball, but this time we have to threaten, unlike America in that first half when we were in possession. We have to have the pace and we have to have the intensity to get up the field quickly and play off more and so on. And you haven't had any kind of dynamism, or Gordon mentioned the word creativity off Aaron Ramsey yet. I think you've got to bring Alan back in. That's again a gamble. Of course, he struggled. He came on at a difficult time in that 13-minute cameo, but I think you need him and Ampadu there for that safety structure of the two sitting deep, and then you've got to bring some pace into the team going up. Whether that's Johnson or James, I think remains to be seen, if any, I guess.
Yeah, Fraser, I agree with what you're saying there, but our problem is we've got ageism in our side.
True.
You know, Ramsey, Bale, and Allen.
Like lack of football.
Yeah, my other issue is, Fraser, the players that are coming in, and there's no disrespect to them. It's such a high level they have to attain. Have we got the quality there?
Well, you know, anything we bring in, it's a gamble because we haven't got the international experience there. You know, in terms of the quality, no, it's a very good point. We are bringing in. Yeah, and our fringe players are largely unproven at international level. We've only had a short time in their career to do it in flashes. You know, we aren't blessed with performers who have excelled for a long stage on the international stage, with the exception, of course, of maybe Bale and Ramsey, the ones who maybe too far at the other end of the scale now. So look, I think whatever happens, you know, if whether we get the fairy tale or not tomorrow night, let's assume we don't for a moment. Right? We need to have a rethink, I think, in the next European campaign. You know, when John Toshak came in, did a very underrated job. Realised what was happening in Welsh football and put a lot of new blood in and sacrificed a few campaigns. I don't think we're at that level. We're nowhere near the extremities he had to go through. But the Euros campaign has got to be with one eye in the future.
I think we're at the crossroads, though. Although you've said that, I think in the next few seasons it's going to be very interesting how Wales perform in the European Championships and the World Cup qualifiers as well. Because the players that we're mentioning that are coming in, they played international football, but they need to be an extra level to take us through.
There's plenty of youth there, which is a good thing. But like you say, it needs exposure.
And I mean, the Hennessy moment you have to say as well, don't you? I mean, we debated whether he should start. He was blameless for the goal against USA. He made a very good save to keep it at 0-0 against Iran. But it was an awful moment for him. It was an awful misjudgment, it has to be said. I thought Nico Williams' tracking had it covered. I think even if he holds his line and just accepts body checking the play, with the way Williams has arced his run, he probably gets away with it. But the manner of the contact was brainless. It's harsh on him.
You know, the moment he goes to the VAR and the moment he goes over, it's going to be a red card. More from Jason, who says we've got to remember Wales have done well to get there, but
100%, Jason.
And I do agree with that. And I think I think Paige has done a good job in taking Wales to this tournament and to the
I'm just
Euros
hoping
as well.
I'm not going to wait another 64 years to watch Wales play in the World Cup.
Speaking of players
Over the hill, Cristiano Ronaldo's just scored again for Portugal.
He's Wales.
yeah.
And listen, what I did want to highlight as well, we've got to say congratulations to Joe Allen. Fraser, you called a stat. He's the first Pembrokeshire League player to play in a World Cup. That's some achievement, isn't it?
First former Pembrokeshire League player, first Pembrokeshire school player. I originally said Pembrokeshire born player until some clever sod pointed out he was born in Gwangwilly in Carmarthen. Carmarthen Athletic Rugby Club flagged that up, if nothing else.
Nice one.
Stick to rugby, lads. But yeah, look, let's move away from this. What we just talked about, the overall situation. Of course, as I said before, it almost caps a career, which started out at grassroots in Pembrokeshire, through the system at Swansea, now European Championships and a World Cup player. And, he might not feel like it right now and to be concentrating on other things, but in hindsight, a superb career, one of the greatest sportsman this county has ever produced. He's in the conversation, no doubt about it.
Narber to Joe Allen, absolutely brilliant. We'll come to the local football in just a sec, but let's talk about the game tomorrow night then. So Wales England, Wales, if they win 4-0, will qualify. A win by a smaller margin could take them through if results go their way in the other game. What do we think of England USA? I mean, England went into that on a high really after the 6-2 win against Iran. I was disappointed with the performance on Friday. I think Gareth Southgate is a good manager, and I'm a big Southgate fan, but he does have one weakness, and that's his ability to change a game. I think he lets it drift, and he's quite slow to react. And it happened in the Euros, where I think he was out-coached really in that final against Italy, and it does happen. I do make England favourites tomorrow. I'll be interested what he does with his team. I think Foden will come in, and it looks like Henderson might come in as well. What did you make of that at the game on Friday? I'm interested to get your perspectives on that, on the 0-0 draw against the USA.
I thought they were quite laboured, considering the attacking weapons they have. That has been the one criticism of Southgate, in it. They'd be very reluctant to take the handbrake off, so to speak. I think he brought them back down to earth, actually, after they beat Iran so handsomely. I wouldn't be panicking from an England point of view, to be honest. You look at major tournaments, very rarely you see a team go through it and perform superbly game in, game out. In fact, I haven't seen one single team put two brilliant back performances together yet. Brazil very lucky to win today.
They were.
Yeah. So there were concerns maybe over the England display and the lack of it. But they've got plenty of attacking weapons, and the true test will come later in the tournament. I expect them to go through tomorrow night.
Gord, what sort of game do you think it'll be tomorrow? I think these games, if I was either team, I would just say let's play this like a Premier League game. Forget the caginess of international football. You have to play it. Take this as if it's a Premier League game and play the way you would on a Saturday.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Especially for Wales. It is so difficult. They've got to go out there and get the initiative and get a goal and try and build on that lead. I mean, you're talking against an England team that has an abundance of quality from the back to the front. They got quality players all round. But England do have a tendency to go into their shell when things don't go right for them. They need somebody out there to be able to lead that team. I think England are lacking a leader, if I'm honest. Kane is he captain at the moment? I don't see him as a natural captain.
He's captain by influence, isn't he? Rather than
but what I'm saying is you need to have a natural leader out there, a player that is respected by the whole squad, and when the chips are down, they listen to him and they raise the game. I don't see anybody in the England camp like that.
He's not a Tony Adams, and I don't mean the Strictly version.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
or a Stuart Pearce, or
that type of character.
Gareth Bale's similar, isn't he, in the way he captains Wales?
Exactly. But they do need, if they're going to progress in this competition, which they will get to the next stage. I can't see Wales actually winning by more than 4 goals. That would be unbelievable.
Let me just ask a couple of questions, then we'll move on quickly to some of the local football. Predictions for tomorrow night. Do you want a bit longer to think about this, or Fraser, you happy to kick us off?
I think I'll go England 2-0.
Gordon?
And then we'll get onto the local.
Yeah, England will win.
Tom?
Yeah, England will win. I'll 2-1. How is that? But I think England will win. It's no better, but it's 2-1.
I'll be the optimist. 5-1 Wales.
Nice one, Tom.
I take a 1-0 England win. And just wondering, and let's throw this open to the final part as well. So do have a think on this, and we'll just say, has anyone seen anyone they think will go on and win the World Cup? So have a think. Have you revisited any of your predictions? People watching, get involved with that as well. What do you think after the opening few games? Who's going to win it? Locally, we have to focus on what happened. There weren't many matches. So was it just the weather at the weekend that saw matches not
horrendous weather, Ben? Horrendous weather we had at the weekend. But the big game of the weekend was the top of the table clash of Phoenix Park.
Yes,
fair play. It was some clash of Phoenix Park as well.
I mean,
come on, give us the details.
It's a statement win. There's no thing about it. We've all been talking about Merlins Bridge as almost in a rebuilding project, and they moved into the new home, lost a few players, and playing Goodwick, there has been needle in the last couple of years. A different kind of rivalry. You look at the Goodwick Hakin rivalry. It's gone through. Well, I say there have been a little few off-field things, but it's mostly on-field and competing for trophies. You had the year when Merlins Bridge and Carew had the rivalry because they played in 2 cup finals. The Bridge Goodwick rivalry is more derived from player transfers. You look at the Goodwick side now, and you've got the likes of Luke Haywood, Nathan Green, both ironically were sent off playing for Goodwick, and we've got a few former Bridge players there and players who've gone back and forth. So, look, you look at the table now with Bridge, and they're actually top. If Hakin, I think that Hakin, Goodwick, and Bridge have all lost one. So
they have.
But in terms of games played, I think Bridge have played 5 more than Hakin now, and a 3 out of Goodwick haven't played 1 more. Both those 2 teams playing cup action on Saturday. Bridge are at home to Neyland. It's a chance for them to put more daylight, and
6 points,
we all know that the longer you go in cup competitions, the bigger backlog you have at the end. So look, whilst Bridge won't be getting carried away, and they're still talking about next year as one where they maybe go on and challenge, they will be eyeing an opportunity now to go to Phoenix Park and win. And remember, Goodwick were unbeaten last year. They in league action, they lost the title on points deduction. In fact, it's a year and a half of league football that they've actually they've gone unbeaten. So Bridge all of a sudden will be thinking, if we can keep winning,
will it be a bridge too far, do you think?
Oh, very good, Gord. Very good.
Well, Tom, Jason did say well done to you for backing Wales, and I think he met you yesterday, didn't he, at the Broadhaven
he met me
10K.
yesterday. But on the Pembrokeshire Sports Update on a Friday morning, both Bill and Gina went for Goodwick, and I was like, Merlins Bridge have got the momentum at the moment, and I backed them for the victory.
And they got Joe Lee up front as well, not for much longer, because he was sent off as well. But you've got
and Alfie Stotter.
Yeah, exactly. But you had 4 red cards, but you've got
so Jason, you might only have 12 players available next week, mate.
I mean, in Leahy, you do have a match winner. We've seen that before.
Definitely.
And his commitment has waned the last couple of years. In fairness, his boy's got into the Swansea City Academy. That's not a slight on him at all. That's fairness. It's a big dilemma and a lot of commitment and a lot of travelling. But when he plays, he's a proven goal scorer.
He's a quality player, is he? Joe Lee. He's played Welsh League football. He knows what it's all about, and he finds the back of the net regular. So, unfortunately, he did get sent off on Saturday, and he will have a suspension. So that may have a bearing on what's going on as well. But the Bridge, to be fair, you've got to give him full credit. And it's great to see somebody else at the top of the table showing
three-way battle would be nice.
Hakin and Goodwick. It's not going to be just a 2-horse race.
Okay, Hakin, as we said, won at Trostre in the West Wales Cup. They won 2-0. St Clair's against Clarbeston Road, the other game in Division 1. Match abandoned after 70 minutes, with Clarbeston Road 4-0 up due to the pitch becoming unplayable.
Yeah, you'd be annoyed at that, but
You'd
was horrendous weather. So,
You can't get through another 20 minutes, lads.
But Hakin through again as well. I expected them to go in Trostre and win as well. They won comfortably a few weeks ago.
They had a few players missing as well, mind Fraser. Nicky Woodrow, Ashley Bevan, and Adam John was missing from their lineup. So for them to go to Trostre, after beating them 4-0 with those boys playing and without them playing on Saturday, is a good statement. Fair play. It shows the strength and depth of their squad.
Excellent stuff. No game for Haverfordwest this weekend. They're back in action on Friday. They're at home, aren't they, on Friday night to
Pennybont.
Yeah, Pennybont. That's a 7:45 kickoff. And we do need to say well done to former Haverfordwest manager, big friend of the show as well. Great to read tonight that Wayne Jones is back in football. He's joined Britton Ferry as assistant manager to Andy Hill. I'm really pleased to see Wayne back, because he was on the show a few weeks ago, still so passionate about the game. You felt there was another job coming, Gordon, didn't you? And it's good to see.
He cannot be out of football too long, Wayne. He's a great character. He's a good coach, and he deserves to be somewhere. Britain Ferry will have a great. It'll be a great addition to their coaching squad, that's for sure. And they'd probably be onwards and upwards, knowing that Wayne's in the camp anyway.
Yeah, great to see.
And best of luck to you, Wayne. Good luck.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. Yeah, good luck to Wolvesy. Right, we will change sports in a sec. We're going to be joined by Kenny Davis. We're going to talk rugby, and we'll do the analysis of what happened to Wales at the weekend. I was with my next door neighbour. He was there in Cardiff on Saturday, so I got his views last night as well. Where next for Wayne Pivac? Has Gordon changed his mind? What does the future look like? Is Ian Evans the man to save the day as well? All that to come in just a few moments. And don't forget, from 9 tonight, we've got a special programme looking back on Friday night's Sport Pembrokeshire Awards. That's all to come. It's Monday evening, 8:25 on Pure West Sport.
Eaton Evans and Morris Solicitors have traditional value.